Hello and welcome back to Second Chance Jungle. I'm Ricky and this is part 2 of Plant Care Basics. Alright, so now that my plant's been in isolation for a couple of weeks, I'm going to check it out for some mealybug or scale. Just give it a real good look over all the leaves, on top, underneath, the stems and around the soil, just to double check that there's no residue or any signs of mealybug and scale. Forgot to mention another common pest, which is spider mite. It looks like tiny little spider webs on the underneath of your leaf, usually on the underneath, tiny little spider mites, and you can't really see the spiders, they're so small. But that's another one to look out for, and I will have videos coming up on how to treat them. One of the signs of mealybug is white residue. You'll see like little bits of white fluff, and scale, they look like little shells stuck to the leaves, usually on the bottom, so just have a really close look for them. So now that I've checked this plant over from top to bottom, inside all the gaps and crevices, I haven't found a thing, so I reckon this plant is safe. It's now on to the next option, which is, do I leave it in this pot or is it time for a repotting? My first option is I could leave it in this pot, just leave it how it is. It's still got plenty of room in there. I can't see any roots growing out of the bottom and it doesn't feel pot bound, so it's got plenty of room. So I could just leave it, not disturb it, and just put it into a decorative pot like this. This is the easiest thing, like, nice and simple. It looks great, it's pretty. I haven't had to touch the roots, so the plant's not got any more stress. It's got plenty of room inside that pot, so it's got a lot of time before it even needs a repot really, and it can just let it grow. This could be the end of the series, but there's other options. You can repot. Some people do like to repot, so I'll talk about that right now. So the second option is repotting it. I always recommend a pot that's similar to the size that it's already in. You don't want to go too big. Because it's not pot bound and I can't see any roots underneath, if I was to go into a bigger pot, say, you know, like this sort of size, it's just going to be all dirt. You're just going to be watering dirt every time you water it. The plant's not going to produce new leaves while it has to produce roots. And the only time the plant goes, hey, I've made enough roots, is once it sort of fills the edges of the pot. So your best bet is to keep it in a pot that's similar to the size that it's already in, or similar to the root ball. So as an example, if I was to repot this right now, I would be going into a pot that's similar, probably this sort of size. As you can see, the size comparison. It's going to have a bit more room down the bottom to throw roots, and also a bit more room on the sides. I can feel that this pot isn't full, so the root ball on this is probably the size of my hand. So if the roots are this size, I still have plenty of room. So I would recommend a 13-14 centimeter pot to repot something like that into. So if you were to repot it, plants like this from the aroid family, like monsteras, philodendrons, pothoses, they all like a really airy mixture. I have a mixture that I make up on my Instagram. You can more than welcome to check it out. I'll have a YouTube video coming up soon on how to make it, so make sure you subscribe for that one. So yeah, this sort of plant, a really light fluffy mixture, something that the water can just go through and drain out. That's what these sort of plants like. So I do recommend clear pots for anyone that, you know, might be a little bit novice when it comes to watering, how wet, how dry. These really do help. I still use them and I love them. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is part 2 of my little mini series. So I'm just going to recap right now. You can either leave the plant how it is and just put it in a decorative pot like that. Don't have to disturb the roots, don't have to really do anything. It's nice and simple. It looks great. There you go. Or the second option is you can repot it, recommending a pot that's similar size to what it's already in or close to the root ball size. Clear pot is what I recommend for indoor plants with a fluffy, airy mixture, found on my Instagram and another video coming soon. So I really hope you're finding this little mini series helpful. If you've got any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help. Part 3 is coming up. I'll be repotting this little baby and putting it in a clear pot with my own potting mixture. Please like, follow and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great day.